Guys, you remember Michael Carrick told us sometime back in February, around early February, like Mason Mount was going to be in a few months. He was used to compare it with the recovery of Patrick Dogu, like Mason Mount would come back before Patrick Dogu. But we have waited and waited and waited. Mason Mount is still out, and the report is here again. Like in the next match against Aston Villa, still this guy will not feature in that game. Neither will Lisandro Martinez feature in that one. So the injury situation is escalating, and what is Michael Carrick trying to do? I have something for you that I have known Michael Carrick is trying to do, as you keep subscribing, because we want to keep growing. Now, Michael Carrick has, first of all, introduced one youngster from the academy in the names of Albert Mills. This guy is a center back. Of course, you might be convinced like we have Lenny Yoro and Aiden Heaven for our center as our center backs for now, but you quite need the depth in that center back position. And as the situation escalates, of course, even Harry Maguire is not yet he's not at his best. He's not fit 100%. You've seen him being pulled out in some of the matches before the match ends, and we have been assuming it's a way of managing his minutes. Like there was a match where both Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw were pulled out, and we assumed it was just a way to manage their minutes. And mm, after that, Michael Carrick came out and told us they felt a bit ill, and so they requested to go out. But the situation seems to be going the other way around for our defense, with Lisandro Martinez to continue being out. Of course, you see, every time we play without Lisandro Martinez, United is a whole weaker team right in there, especially when Lisandro Martinez is missing and Harry Maguire as well is missing. It becomes a whole crap of a team. And these are youngins of ours, Aiden Heaven and Lenny Yoro. They just they're just trying to pick up their form again after, of course, missing out in several matches. And guys, the situation is just that way. Of course, Alessandro Martinez will miss his fourth consecutive game when he misses this one against Aston Villa on Sunday. And that's how the situation is escalating. As for Mason Mount, guy has scored 3 goals in 17 matches this campaign, which is way below a player of his caliber. But he will be missing some of the matches with the calf injury still. Of course, he has already missed 6 matches already from the time he suffered a calf injury. But he will still continue to be out despite Michael Carrick assuring us like he would be back. And it's not yet clear when he will join the rest of the squad for training. Unlike guys like Patrick Dogu, who are already trying to do something on grass. We were told Patrick Dogu was trying to train alone at Carrington, and that's a good development. As for Mason Mount, there is nothing very clear yet as for his recovery. So, guys, those are the injury updates. Of course, amidst others, Matthias Delete also continues to stay out. He misses, I think, more than could be 7 or even 8 matches now, and it's really been long time since we had Matthias Delete feature in our matches, and yet this is a guy whom we badly need. We need Matthias Delete. You saw the form that he was in before he went out for those for that injury. He was one guy who was a standout player uh, every game in, game out, of course, before his injury. And for Patrick Dog, we are hoping he comes back with the form he left with. Of course, he scored bangers of goals before he picked up that injury against, was it Arsenal? Not sure yet. But of course, he's edging closer to his return. And Michael Carrick, having promoted another young in, of course, I told you of how youngins have featured on Wednesday was when this boy featured also in training. Albert Mills, an 18-year-old centre back, a defender from the academy. United right now has very interesting youngins from that academy, and United just have to feature. Okay, to figure out when to bring these boys on board, but they are doing quite well. And I told you of JJ Gabriel, who also trained with the rest of the team at Carrington. That was yesterday. Yeah, I showed you pictures of how he was training together with Brian Belmo and Matt Diallo. You need to go and watch that video of mine, previous video, because I detailed exactly what featured in that training session. So guys, that is the thing at Manchester United. The situation with injuries is even slowing our progress and making people think United was just uh, like uh, like getting in themselves into that form just because of maybe a fluke or change of manager effect. But me, I don't really feel so. I feel there's something going on with this squad. So guys, keep subscribing. Cheers.